EA Sports brings you a special edition of the National Football League for this Halloween matchup. It's the 49ers and the Bears, next on Madden NFL 22.
They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for... Closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. On the return, Deontay Harris. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The 49er offense coming out here for the first time, led by their quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. And he'll work this forward for about 3 in second. first down. Garoppolo gets this one to Juszczyk. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
I think they tried to fool him on that one. Being able to throw the ball to the fullback position. No one was fooled on that play.
No, lost yardage. You think they should yank that one from the playbook, at least for the time being?
I think what you do is you take it out and you evaluate it next week in practice.
Meanwhile, Garoppolo's throw complete here to Ayuk. That's a good shot. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Garoppolo going to try and throw on third. And able to haul it in is Kittle. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number one. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. Akeem Hicks make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So we are at halftime here on Halloween. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, make sure you avoid the crazies out there and welcome in everybody to this Halloween edition.
Well, why don't we... The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they... They'll start the third quarter with a run by Cohen. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. Play action. It's Fields. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
On first down, it's Fields. And yet again, it's Howard with a catch. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On second down now, it's Montgomery. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 52 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run Montgomery, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On play action, Fields. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Nick Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Niners to take over on offense. They'd lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at the 20. To throw, it's Garoppolo. That's complete to Dwelly, his tight end. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
Let's go, get excited, let's go, let's go.
It's a gain of 10. And the 49ers first down.
Sermon now on 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Garoppolo. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he's going to be marked down short of the 1st down. Needed the 40, but he's a yard or 2 shy. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
That'll be taken in by Damiere Byrd. The 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Chicago!
Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
Yeah, and that was sheer determination right there. He decided before the play, if there was a sliver, he was going to take advantage of it. Looked the ball in, turned on the jets, and took it all the way.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats.
Now the Bears keeping the offense on the field and going for 2. They'll look to throw. And he'll get in for the 2 points. So that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet and said, go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Here's Harris to return it.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. Garoppolo's throw pulled in by Kittle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. James has got it, complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. I hate to swing the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Gordon. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. From the 29, Fields to Gordon out left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. From the gun, here's Fields. Swings this out here for Cohen. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. Again, Fields gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. Now it's Fields. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, getting up first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. To throw is Garoppolo. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 51 yards on the ground for him so far. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock. And this is 2nd and less than a yard. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff, Sermon. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. From the gun, Sermon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. On the handoff, Sermon. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. Down to a knee goes Garoppolo, and that ought to do it. So the victory here for San Francisco, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for San Francisco, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers.
The last time Pittsburgh beat Chicago, Mike Tomlin wasn't even the Steelers' head coach. But the black and gold look for their first win against the Bears in 16 years. And it's coming up next.
It is a cold night in western Pennsylvania as we bring you inside Heinz Field here in Pittsburgh. Tonight, it's a good week. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he powers his way up past the 30. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 12 carries, 54 yards.
And give him a ton of credit. He's running the ball really well. But I look at those guys up front. That unit is truly playing as just that. Every move that they make, their teammate understands what that move means and what they need to do. And right now, they're starting to grind it out pretty well.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Fields. He's got his man. That's Josh Gordon. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Justin Fields at quarterback gets the completion there. CD, what do you think the key is to stopping this talented former Buckeye?
Pressure, pressure, pressure. Rookie quarterbacks have to survive the initiation of the pressure of the NFL. Now, his athleticism can scare you a little bit because if he evades it, he can go a long way. But in the beginning, you want his eyes to go to the rush, not downfield. So bring those extra guys and see if he can handle it.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
On 2nd and 11 now, Fields. And he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3. From the 50, here's Fields. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Ray McCloud deep for Pittsburgh. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. Now a 1st down throw, Fields. He's going to loft one, deep left side here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Cameron Sutton. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. So, Charles, you talk about this offense as we play here in Week 9 of the 2021 season. Normally you're slipping kind of past the halfway point, but now with the season expanding to 17 games, you kind of think the teams might look up and say, gosh, we still have a lot of football left to go.
No doubt about it. Remember, they've had their open week already, so this could be a straight shot all the way from here on out. To me, the best coaches, they tell their teams, hey, I'll take care of you during the week. You just leave it all out there on game day, and I'll make sure you're ready for the next one.
And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. On the return is Cohen. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Bears take over. David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep... Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he finds Howard complete. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That'll be caught downfield by Bird. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Bears on the move. They've got another first down. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting LA Chargers. Justin Herbert leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they were losers in their ball game as they were outplayed by the visiting New York Jets. Le'Veon Bell, what a game. 3 touchdown runs in the victory. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Bears. And despite the fact that they're down on the scoreboard, they were able to have some success throwing the football in that opening half. And meanwhile, for the Steelers, they too found some success throwing the football. but I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
Again, it's Harris on second down. Shreds him with a... yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Steelers, it's a nice win to finish off what's been an ugly first half as they move to 2-6. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come to town. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11.
It's Week 11 in the NFL, and we're in Chi-Town. We'll see the Bears and Ravens square off for just the 7th time as Chicago looks for their 5th win of the series. All the action's headed your way on EA Sports.
Just off Lakeshore Drive, nestled next to Lake Michigan. That's where you find historic Soldier Field in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Ravens in this matchup, and they know that they are in for a fight here.
And anytime you're dealing with the #1 defense in the league, all through your preparation, you know that yards are going to be tough to come by. But working in their favor, they can run the football. One of the top 5 teams in the league in that category. So I expect this one to be a tight, hard-hitting affair, and both teams playing to their strengths.
Fields on first down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Let's go. Let's do this.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season, but some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. Well, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Blizzards.
And milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year, not to take anything away from it. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Well, that's complete to the fullback, Ricard. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. Incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
Now the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Here's Cohen now to return. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further. He'll take the knee in the final couple seconds. Will tick by. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, one thing that you and I featured as a storyline was that they were facing the NFL's #1 defense coming in, and they really took it right to them.
Yeah, they didn't blink, did they? And instead of just saying to themselves, let's make sure that we minimize our mistakes and try and play a conservative-type game, they attacked right from the beginning. Said, we got to go after these guys. I think sometimes you take the #1 rated defense by surprise when you do that.
So for the Ravens, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Bears, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday at noon Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit.